Welcome back to another episode of Shabbat Shmooze. This week's Parsha is Parshat Tetzaveh, which talks about all the priestly garments that the Kohanim wore in the Mishkan. But this week is also Parshat Zachor. Parshat Zachor is the Shabbat before Purim. We actually have a Torah obligation to go to shul and hear the maftir where it says, Zachor asher asa lacha Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. So, ladies, you're going to go to shul this week and you're going to hear the maftir. And you're going to stand and we're all going to hear it together in unison. Now, the pasuk of remembering what Amalek did to us has such an interesting twist of words. I want to share that with all of you. The pasuk that we're going to hear, that we're obligated to go to shul for, is Zachor et asher asa lacha Amalek baderech b'tzeitcha mimitzrayim asher karcha baderech. Remember what Amalek did to you on the way when you were leaving Mitzrayim, how he happened upon you on the way. Now, if you look at the words asher karcha baderech, technically means how he happened upon you on that day. But there's something a little unusual here. Karcha doesn't just mean what Amalek did to you, how he chanced upon you and what they did to us. Karcha also means cooled you down. The shoresh is kar, cold. So what Hashem is saying to us is, don't forget when Amalek cooled you down when you were leaving Mitzrayim. Now, what does that mean? This is not just a physical battle that Amalek staged against us. This was a psychological battle. When Amalek saw that we, the Yid, the Jews, were so fired up, we were so pumped, we were so excited to serve Hashem because we had just seen all the makot, the Kriyat Yamsuf. We were on fire, we were on a high. And then along came Amalek and karcha baderech. They made our emunah chill down, cool us. So that is the psychological aspect of Amalek, which unfortunately we still live with and still deal with actively till this day. We know that we are all in galut, and we know that this galut is 100% caused because of Amalek. But we ourselves have the opportunity to fight Amalek in our own ways, and I'm going to share that with all of you. There's a pasuk in the Maftir that says, Timche et zecher Amalek mitachat hashamayim lo tishkach. This is something very unique. It's specified twice. You shall erase the memory of Amalek from under the heavens. Do not forget. Notice the double command. Erase and do not forget. Amalek isn't just a historical enemy. It's an ideology that must be actively uprooted from in our own personal lives as well. There's a story I remember hearing that connects to this point about a man named David who was in the Holocaust under brutal conditions. And unfortunately, he was assigned an exceptionally cruel SS officer. And although he did survive, the trauma stayed with him forever. He spoke about how every time he was in the peak, at the climax of pain and grief during the Holocaust, that SS officer would go over to David and say, "Where's your God now? Where's your God now?" And it was taunting him. Where is your God? He was trying so hard to cool him, to prevent him from having emunah, from squashing him from believing in Hashem. When David survived the Holocaust, he became a very successful sofer, where he was writing sifrei Torahs and tefillins and mezuzot. And one very exciting day, one of his most beautiful sifrei Torah was being given to a shul, and it was a big ceremony. And they were finalizing some of the words. They had left some of the words blank. And when David sat there, he had to fill in a few words. And the words that he needed to fill in were Timche et zecher Amalek. And he stopped and he got so emotional in shul. And he stood up and he had to give a speech to everybody who was there. He finally began to deal with the trauma that he'd seen. And he said to everyone, he said that he survived the Holocaust and it was harrowing and terrifying, and the trauma is with him till this day. But standing here in a room of all these holy Jews, having been presenting a brand new Sefer Torah to this big shul, filling in those final words, he realized he did exactly what the Torah commanded him. He erased Amalek. He didn't lose himself. He didn't chas v'shalom fall prey to depression or disconnect from Yiddishkeit or say goodbye to Hashem. He maintained, he rebuilt a life, and that is when he discovered he is exactly the revenge Amalek never wanted. Friends, we are all dealing with a personal Amalek. I am sure all of you know that I had my surgery last week, and I still do not know the pathology of my breast cancer. We still do not know really what we're dealing with and exactly what treatment course Hashem has planned for me. So I'm going to let you know what our spiritual homework is from a very raw and personal perspective. We are meant to fight Amalek. We need to rise above Amalek trying to karcha baderech, cool us in our mission to stay connected to Hashem. So sometimes my Amalek makes me want to be sad, or makes me want to wonder, or makes me want to be worried. And my rising above Amalek is me being happy and me trusting Hashem. I don't understand the ways of Hashem, but I promise you, my friends, I trust Him 110%. Our Amalek is whatever is stopping you from truly connecting and reaching Hashem. Whatever is cooling you on the way. Whether it's spiritual laziness, whether it's anger, whether it's disconnecting from Hashem, this is the week. Zachor asher asalacha Amalek. Remember what Amalek tried to do to you. Rise above. We're going to rise above. We're going to fight our Amalek. We are proof that they didn't win physically, but now let's prove to ourselves that they will not win psychologically and spiritually. Please continue to keep me in mind, Michal Bat Tina. I can't wait for the next Shabbat Shmooze where I share good news with all of you. And by the way, I should mention that I see every one of your beautiful comments underneath my videos on the Kosherdotcom website. Please forgive me for not getting a chance to respond personally to each and every one of you, but you light up my heart and you really give me so much joy from your kind words. So please continue to post those beautiful comments. It makes me so happy. I want to say, love you all, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom, and go to shul and hear Parshat Zachor. Shabbat Shalom.